We cannot hear you, Marina.
Oh no, I had such a great opening. So, welcome everyone, and it's so great to get to this milestone at Startup Weekend. So, I'm in an art cafe, which I may or may not have the opportunity to explain more about. But enough about me. Let's get into what's happening in the next few minutes. I'm going to start my presentation. Okay, so drummers and emojis. So basically, welcome to the final presentations. First of all, I just wanted to say good on you for coming this far. It's not an easy weekend. There's so many doubts. There's so many difficult paths to get to this point where you have something to present, and you basically went from nothing to potential idea. So big round of applause to everyone to get to this point. We'll say that many times because it's a massive achievement. But we do like to continue, and the first step is to meet our amazing panel of judges. As it says here, don't be scared of them. I'm scared of them a little bit, but it's part of the journey to be a little scared. Who says that there's anything wrong with that? So let me now invite the judges to present themselves. Let's hear first from Hannah Lee.
Hi, I'm Hannah Lee, CEO and founder of Melixer. So Melixer is a vegan skincare brand, and we make our product only with plant-based ingredients. Very nice to meet you guys all.
Thank you, Hannah. I now invite Michael.
Hi, it's Michael Huang, the CEO of the Big Banges. Nice to see you all. I'm the early stage investors, but I'm also the kind of a great guy, a nice guy. I will be in these sessions. Yeah, I look forward to your sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Now about Ron.
Hi, my name is Ron. I'm a CEO of my workspace, co-working space in Korea, especially in Seoul, Gangnam. And yeah, I have been in startup scene for like 8 years in Korea, and this is my third business. I'm still new. I'm still trying, and like you guys, and I like to involve in this. I mean, I'm honored to be involved in this event, and I like to see your pitches. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. And I invite.
Hi, I'm Hannah John. I teach international business at Ewha Women's University. I'm also director of our Center for Global Social Responsibility. It's such an honor to be here, especially with these distinguished judges. We've heard so much about what you're doing. We're really excited. And if you're ever in Seoul, please get in touch with me. I'd love to buy you food. Fighting.
Oh, I'd love to take on that offer as well. Okay, so let's come back to the judging criteria. Now, the judges will be looking at a few key things. We went through them a couple of times during the weekend. So this is just a quick refresh. We're first going to think about validation. How does the idea was received by customers, by users, by the community? What is the problem it's solving? And what will be a target market? At least some first initial assumptions that can continue to be validated as you guys continue to work on the idea. The second one is execution and design. So in terms of prototype and really bringing that idea to life, obviously, it's known that when people are working on idea, it's hard to articulate what that idea really is. So execution and design helps to form concepts where we can interact and actually get more and more feedback is what we're trying to do. And then business model. How do you plan to make this business successful? In terms of the value proposition, in terms of uniqueness, innovation, and going forward. Using masks, super important. Let's follow the rules. Anyway, okay, so when we think about the prizes that we have prepared for you, there'll be 3 prizes. So the first prize is the idea that relates to the team that was able to achieve the furthest concept in terms of sustainability. The second prize will go for the team with the most unique and creative idea. And the third prize is the team that was able to build the strongest idea of teamwork. Now, the truth is, all these 3 things, they're really critical for any idea to be successful. And as I said before, you are already all winners to be here, to have put so much effort, and being ready to put your idea out in the world. So how does it work? I just went through all this. So basically, you submitted the deck. We're now going to present your ideas to the judges, and then the judges were going to select the winning teams. So now this is the pitch order that we're going to go through. And just before we kick off, this is a moment for us all to put 1 minute into a superhero warm-up. So if you can, stand up. I'm going to try to do this here. Star shape, everyone. If you're presenting, if you're not presenting, just build up some energy. Maybe some power poses now, whatever comes to mind. They are all very important. Maybe some jumps, maybe some jumping jacks. You see? Yeah, this is very important. This is very important. Don't underestimate the power of a little bit of extra breath and energy. So I like to wish you all good luck and to say that we're all here to support you in the best way we can. So let's invite our first team to present. And also, I'm just going to check with our great organizers if there's any other message before we dive into it, or we are ready to go. Yes, I can see some emojis.
Through the phone.
I get that was a yes, so let's jump into it. So I invite the
Okay,
first
we will
team.
share the screen now. Okay, share the screen. The Chrome Lab. This is the one. And okay, you can start.
Yeah, can we start? Okay. So, hello, this is the presenter, Jiseo and Soyun, for the team Winjay. We're going to introduce our business idea of the turning station. Briefly, our company named as a combination of wind and Jeju, since we're focusing on the wind power used in Jeju and it has hidden meaning of winning as well as. The problem that we faced were, first of all, when people are touring in Jeju, they can have low battery due to the enhanced usage of the phone and long time of charging the phone inside of the car. Secondly, during the tour, Wi-Fi or LTE is limited for viewing the map and accessing the internet in a fast speed. Lastly, the seriousness of the global warming due to the too much usage of the non-renewable energy affects our daily life and the future.
This is our solution according to our problem. Our 2 main focus is community sustainability and sustainable battery use. We can develop our Jeju community's sustainability by using sustainable battery made by wind energy. When we make sustainable community, there will be the way that we can maintain our local community continuously. To solve these problems, our aim is to create the station where renting the charging battery and pocket Wi-Fi using the renewable wind turbine energy. This is 3D prototype of our product. To briefly explain about how this product works, the blade turns by the natural wind, and through the generator, the portable battery and Wi-Fi are charged. There are each 5 portable battery and Wi-Fi with QR codes in 2 sections. As we consider the safety issues, the fence is made to let the wind pass by, and the window around this fence is to prevent people from getting injured. The glasses prevent the rain from getting in contact with the electrics. Depending on the spot of the place where we are going to set the station, the aesthetic of station can be changed to coordinate with place that we choose. If the people walk over certain range, the alarm will ring and all of the services will stop immediately. Also, we can make 300,000 watts per hour.
Within the stations placed near the famous landmarks in Jeju, there is the app system for the convenience and the secretary reason. The first screen of the phone showing the two options of the battery and the pocket Wi-Fi. When the user selects one of them, the QR code camera screen pops up and they can pick up the products they choose to scan the QR code on the camera. Then the information like model number, battery range, using the time, and total cost shows up. Through this, the cost is measured with the using time. The last screen has the map with the stations placed on and the information of the landmarks or the businesses that apply the advertisements. This system is similar with the business called Lime that is already proved to be succeed with 7,332 users.
In 2020, there were about 5 million people visiting Jeju per year, with about 300,000 visiting Hala Mountain. We're assuming that there will be 40% of people needs the charger for their phone and Wi-Fi, because it is true that tourists tend to use their phone a lot to take picture and watching the maps. As the COVID-19 pandemic vaccines are injected, the market size will be bigger than 2018's range of about 8 million, with the potentiality of increasing.
This is our business model, and we mainly focus on P2C, that our business is connected directly with the customer through the physical stations and the app. It also has P2B2C, that our business connects with the other businesses by getting the advertisements inside our app to the customer. The key partners cooperate with our business are the Jeju community, that they can have the image of the sustainable country with the PR effect, and the landmarks owner, like Shina World, can be informed to the tourists through the app. Also, the businesses like the cafe in the Jeju can put their advertisements on the app. The maintenance fee for the wind turbine, battery, and station are required for starting the business. For the revenue, we plan to earn profits through renting the battery and the pocket Wi-Fi per time and advertisements offered from the business through the app. These are our competitors, and compared to them, we distinguish our business from these industries by using electricity and money charging by the time. This is our team. And this is the business card.
Thank
you.
Good job.
Congratulations, that was amazing. I now invite the judge. Ooh, a little bit of echo. Thank you. I now invite the judges for the Q&A. We have 5 minutes. Whoop, the echo still going a little bit. Okay, let me make an invitation to all the teams now as we go into the Q&A. It's common and expected that you didn't have time to think about every possible thing that takes a business to come to life. So let me offer you the idea of taking this opportunity for the Q&A as feedback for you to think further and expand on your idea. What does that mean is, if you get a question that you don't have the answer, or maybe you haven't actually developed yet, or you haven't thought about it, just say thank you, we will think about it. And then that would give the judges more time to then ask other questions. So then you expand all the different things you can think about, instead of trying to answer right now on the spot, which might actually not add too much value for you in the end. So with that, I invite the judges to ask questions. And please, let's think about 5.
I guess I'll get started. Thank you so much for your presentation. I really liked the tangerine part of the design. It really did say Jeju, and so I thought that was a great great touch that you added. I'm curious if you could talk a little bit more about who the potential customers would be. And so we know that I know you mentioned briefly about maybe certain tour sites might be the ones that would be open to buying this, but I'm wondering, you might not have had a lot of time to do research in terms of what the appetite is for having this type of a product. And also, although you mentioned advertising, so advertising as well, I'm just wondering from the perspective of the one who's buying it, what the benefit would be in that respect as well. Thank you.
So first, the potential customer for our business will be the customer who wants to, like tourists who wants to lend the battery or Wi-Fi for the first stop. But we're also thinking about other business, like famous place like cafe owner or something, amusement park owner that who wants to advertise their place and who wants to attract their specialized menu or something else. So we are not state all the place that every place in Jeju. So only the place who asking for us to advertising, we only do the spotting advertising for them. So I think also that can be the potential customer for us. And also not only for the tourists that comes to Jeju, the people already in the Jeju can be the potential customers who can use for our product.
Thank you. I think it might be interesting to think about there are those who might be using the product and so actually recharging, and so they're paying for that. But also there has to be, I would think, some idea about where you would actually station the product itself. And so is that something that you would be paying for to install, and then maybe just using the revenues from the recharging, or whether that would actually be bought, the whole station bought by a bigger customer. And so I was just curious about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any second question from?
Maybe you already mentioned about the competitor, right? Please explain the one example of a competitor and why do you think so?
So
why the competitor to us?
So I think there's not much service that provide like us, and so far in Jeju, especially in Jeju. So we think about other competitors who try to sell the portable Wi-Fi or battery, like not lending them, like just basically selling, or like in the telecom agency or travel agency, sometimes they're also borrowing them sometimes. But it it's similar as our service that we are going to provide, but I think it's a little bit different and distinguished by that we are using the sustainable and electricity to providing the battery charged by sustainable electricity use. So there can be the competitors, but it's a little bit different. So that's why we are thinking about that can be the competitor, but our product can be distinguished by like the factor that we just mentioned in the presentation.
Maybe you can describe the value between your competitor and your company, right? Please have a little time to explain the difference of your value complete. Yeah, go ahead.
So the biggest difference will be the sustainable electricity use, because other people are just basically just selling them with just charge the normal electricities, or just we have to go to the certain place rather than the popular spots. So they might be forgot to having them, or there's not much place that they can actually buying nearby the Jeju. So we're actually put the station in the popular spot that where people are going the most. So even though they're forgot to bring it, or even though like they're even though they are like using in the short time, they can have the service in the cheaper price than them.
Great. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next question.
I think 5 minutes is up. So I think
Okay.
okay,
Okay,
thank
5 minutes is up. Thank you so much. Winjay, I loved that idea very much. I'm sure I will say that for all the teams that come. Second team, Limeo.
We're setting up. Hold on, everybody. This is a whole logistical operation here. But we're almost there. We're almost there. The team is up. They're logging in. I am about to send invitation to Ense. Yes. Okay, there.
Welcome, Limeo. Very excited about your pitch.
Yes. Okay, you guys are ready to go?
Hold on.
I will do the 5 minutes. Okay, let's start. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. We are Limeo, and I'm Shijang, the idea developer of Limeo. Don't you want to plant a tree of your own across the world helping for climate change actions? Don't you want to help the fish to have a clean ocean environment? Global warming has already had observable effects on the environment. Ice on rivers and lakes are breaking up. Trees are flowering sooner. Polar bears and these cute creatures that the world gives us as treasures are facing a serious problem of becoming extinct. People's insecurities on taking real actions about climate change due to the change of daily life habits and unwillingness to be different from the community around us have to be changed for everyone's future. I want to ask everyone one honest question. When we have the option of walking to a near destination from home, how many of us sometimes refuse about it because all we want is a faster and an easier way, even though we know walking reduces CO2 emissions? How many of us can't continue on taking sustainable actions because we are in a lack of motivation? Based on the Natural Resource Defense Council, we have only 20 years left until climate change actually happens. It's very urgent for us to start the action and be 100% confident about whatever we do sustainably is benefiting us as well as our future. Limeo is the solution. Limeo is an application currently for Jeju Global Education Center's users 4 years and above. It is also includes a website of sustainable brands for online shopping users inside the app. With the application of Limeo, target citizens will be encouraged to finish daily sustainable challenges with friends and communities nearby. Depending on the different levels of missions, points will be awarded in different amounts into the user's profile. When the amount of points has reached a certain level, real trees will be planted across the whole world by Limeo donating real money to our partner tree planting organizations. Users will also be having the option of choosing the beach cleaning organizations for saving the ocean creatures. Completing daily small sustainable actions for achieving a greater and bigger free sustainable move of planting real trees across the world or found ocean cleaning organization, it's two sides benefits. Limeo is a sustainable business with little negative effects on the environment. Differentiation between Limeo and other sustainable apps around the world is that Limeo focuses on both environmental problems above and below the water. Limeo encourages people to take actions together, so then people won't be feeling alone, just like us. Everyone is doing the startup globally together. And also, planting trees and beach cleaning help with not only global issues, but also solving developing countries' farming families' issues, as well as schools' educating purposes. Farming families will have a better education from the organizations about the best ways to take care of the plants. And school sustainability educations can let students have the platform to keep track of their action takings. Students can also compete their ranking with each other as they wish. And as the product develops and the web page develops, the target audience will not be limited by any country, gender, or any age groups above 4. We'll be having a larger and larger market as the app gets upgraded and marketed through social medias as well as advertisements. It is everyone's responsibility to try not to let the upcoming environmental issue happen. But how do we make money? The income of Limeo will be created from our users' donations, online sustainable brand market, as well as sustainable advertisements. Website Limeo brand will be in a shopping web page format for selling sustainable, environmental friendly products such as eco-friendly bags, bench for environmental actions advertisements, and etc. By buying products from Limeo brand, Limeo app users will be benefited by gaining more points into their user account, and the more missions and the higher points that the user achieve and earn, the higher ranking that they will be in both friend and whole world ranking. If we have worldwide 50 million users, we'll be making revenue around $20.3 million based on similar applications analysis data. Around 1/3 of our revenue will be given for our partner NGOs. Limeo is a social and green business. World missions of being sustainable will last for an invaluable amount of time because the situation of climate change can only be controlled but not be changed back then. Therefore, as Limeo operate and develop, market size will be increasing as well. And next is our application template, and thank you.
Thank you. Your time is up. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
So judges, go. You have 5 minutes.
I have a question. I'm sorry for speaking so much.
I'm sorry, the sound was not on.
So I'll be really quick. So thank you so much for your presentation. I hope you did a great job in terms of creating the application. I think it's a very important issue as well. I remember in your problem slide that you stated insecurities was a big issue for individuals when it comes to, so it's a big obstacle when it comes to try to do some good things for the environment. So if you could maybe really briefly, in 1 or 2 sentences, can you share how Limeo is going to help individuals overcome those insecurities through this application? Thank you.
So people are usually motivated by awards and like ranking, for example, and awards of having their own tree across the world. So we think if there's a goal for people to achieve and they can actually receive something for for their self, I think people will be more motivated, and it will be and as well as the communities around them will be doing it with them, so it can reduce people's bad feelings of I'm the only one who's making the changes, I don't feel motivated. So I think that's how our app's gonna work.
Any next questions?
Any questions for us?
Well, one question from me. You presented some numbers in terms of what do you believe the scale will be, especially financially. Have you guys had time to think about any potential risks or things that could stop your idea from growing in the scale that you would like?
Yes, we actually have thought about it because right now, currently, sustainable is a global issue. That we noticed that a lot of app developers are actually having any kind of related with sustainable, such as there's an app called Forest. They are using focusing time related with tree planting. So I guess as the market gonna spread, there are gonna be more and more other developers joining. So that might be gonna be more harder for us to continue. And that might cause a risk of challenging to be better and be the best.
I see. Great answer. Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have one more?
Yes, I have a question. So how will you get your first, let's say, 100 customer, and how will you advertise to them?
We would advertise through social media, as mentioned in the presentation.
Yes, because currently on the first stage, our target audience is basically the citizens that's living in this current town that we are living in, the international town. So mostly the international school students, we use Instagram and Facebook a lot, and we have a lot of friends, so we can try to spread as through like Instagram, like advertising, and as well as Facebook. Also, through communicating with the head of our schools, we can send emails to each international school to communicate about our ideas so it can be spread very quickly.
Let me add the 2 cents of this approach. Maybe you need to invite your fathers because your fathers and mothers have a great friends, right?
No,
Usually
yes.
these kind of people could make a kind of a big influence
Yes.
for this kind of a good movement, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it might be the good start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think also to add 2 more cents, when you mentioned your potential revenue stream, I noticed that you put donations first and then proceeds from sales of eco-friendly products, especially for a business. If you want to be sustainable as a business, I think getting donations is great, but I think that relying on that as a major revenue source might be a bit troublesome, especially since you're not an NGO or an NPO. And also, as mentioned by Michael, that you said that you're probably targeting your friends first, and although you might have some money to spend, I don't know how that might match to your original projection of, say, I think it was either 20 million or something like that. And so trying to figure out maybe a bit more precisely who your target audience might be could be helpful as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's call the next team Nu'u. And I believe the team is now doing the logistics.
How can I get these students for my intern?
I know. I'm like, oh my god, like it's amazing. Yes.
Even they can speak English
yes.
very well, right? More than me, right?
이거 눌루야?
네.
카메라.
이 맞아? 참여? 카메라 안 켰어? 오케이. 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 Here you go. 오케이.
잠시만. Good afternoon. This is Hay. Hello. I'm really sorry, but surprisingly, that wasn't a real call, but a pre-recorded sound. I'm sure I tricked all of you. And probably someone that would be approaching creepily behind my back. Good afternoon. We're Nulla, established to apply technological and ergonomic benefits in our daily lives to provide a safe and sustainable community. Before we move on, let me define a key topic that we have been addressed to: sustainability. Many of you would have a clear perception of sustainability as saving the environment, turtles, and reducing waste. However, our team decided to approach the topic in a slightly different way, a development that meets the demand of current generations while preserving the potential to meet the needs of future generations. These will include topics such as gender equality, crimes, and so on. While thinking in the course of the topic, females are highly vulnerable to different kinds of crimes and danger in South Korea. According to Seoul National Statistical Office, the number of single household women in Korea have been increasing up to 309 million, as well as the crime demands for safety measures. For sure, if this positive trend continues, our society will constantly face a massive impact socially with the subtopic of stability and security. Not only the single household woman, but looking at the overall trend of crimes directed toward females, we have actually thought that preservation of exposure to crimes for a future generation actually falls into the category of sustainability. Based on our target market, who is any and all women willing to get preventive measures for their own security, the majority have answered that they have to suffer from anxiety and fear while returning back to her house alone at night. Still, they didn't have any security tools with them and weren't even conscious of the existing tools that were initially established to keep women safe. Here, we got a click on our brain. How about making a security tool that is easily accessible to women so that they can prevent themselves whenever they need to? Therefore, we are here to proudly propose our product, 눌러줘. 눌러줘 is a sliding phone case with 4 different buttons and speakers installed onto it.
The first and second buttons are here for users to record any sounds that they want. Users would be able to record the sounds that they feel comfortable with, for example, the calling sound that I've tricked you in the first part of the pitch. This fake calling sound can protect her from suspicious people and alert the stalker to go away. The next button has a loud default sound that can instantly alert others around. The last button is for instantly calling the police while sending her parent or police a current location of the phone. Yes, there are different types of preventive measures that Korea has been doing for a few years. However, looking at the ongoing trend, which proves that these infrastructures don't even exist or aren't available in many places, poor management skills and accessibility seem to be a core reason for not being a feasible solution. Then, what is beneficial for you to select our innovative product over these existing products that are used to alert others? Firstly, our product is more doable and accessible. The product works independently by herself. Other applications and calls that work only if the phone is alive would never be a perfect solution to prevent crimes. Ladies and gentlemen, the average time spending turning on the phone and solving the password, going into the app, and calling parents was approximately 35 seconds. But with only 5 seconds, 35 to 5. This reduction of 30 seconds can actually save one's status or even her life who is on stake. A minute will feel like a year, and a second will feel like a minute in the situation. Second, we give users a range of options that she can choose depending on the situation. Unlike other products which have set features, we allow them to turn on their own customized sound. Look, we can't guarantee that their parents would receive her phone or not. We can't guarantee that the application or bells would work or not. However, without these concerns, she can simply press the button to trick others if she is unsure of the situation. While if she is extremely threatened, she can alert the police and her parents as soon as possible. Our product would consist of 3 key components: easy sound module, GPS system, and polycarbonate to manufacture our phone case sustainably. This combination would be sold at only 39,900 won, leaving us with about 8,700 won of pure profit per one phone case. Our partnership with a tracking company and women's rights organization would provide a more credible option for all the users in the markets, mainly about 89% of those who feel unsafe. Our promotion and product itself will raise the awareness of women molestation and help women to be prepared and empowered anytime. We would like to call you to join our part of the journey of making this community sustainable as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Loves that. I wish that existed in many cities and years throughout my life. Let's now invite the judges for first questions. Thank you.
I'll start first. Thank you so much for your presentation. For the other judges, please let me know if you'd like me to be quiet, because I'm just monopolizing everything. So thank you again. And it's great to see that you're trying something innovative, especially for women. I had a couple comments and then just one question. When you talked initially about sustainability and you said that your team chose this kind of framing of sustainability, actually it made it sound like you came up with a definition, but it was actually, of course, from the Brundtland Commission. And so it might actually be great if you could cite the original source, just so that we're all on the same page with that. Also, when it comes to the actual presentation itself, there's so much great material that you included, a lot of data, and also about the product. Again, the 5 minutes is very short, but it might actually be helpful to maybe break it down even more, maybe more concentrated, because it felt quite fast-paced and a little bit difficult to digest, but I think that a lot of the material was very helpful for us to listen to. I'm wondering, just from a business perspective, have you had time to get in touch with potential customers and see if they might be willing to purchase this item for 39,900 won? I'm just curious.
Well, yes, we actually did a survey, sent a survey to the customers and asked if they would like to buy this phone case if it was actually selling, and most of them said they would like to buy this phone case.
And there were 5 options for the pricing, so like 1,001 to 2,001, and then we select the most kind of the pricing strategy that most people voted. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question.
Also,
Maybe
can we?
may I ask about the
Oh,
kind
can
of a hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. May I ask about uh do you have any plan to use the kind of Bluetooth in this device? You know, the Bluetooth.
No, we're trying to as an individual product because as aforementioned, if we use applications or any other connections to the phone, if the phone dies, we won't even be able to use itself. So it would be an independent, product by itself. Yeah.
It's my kind of a I wanted to add some idea, right? You need to consider to adopt kind of a Bluetooth technology, right? Yeah, it's my kind of additional idea. Maybe if you could.
Okay.
And also, we were planning to show a small scenario at the front of the presentation.
And there was a technical issue.
Yeah. So can we show
it
to
right
you?
now?
So the pre-recorded sound, like as an example of the pre-recorded sound that would be installed in the product itself would be.
야, 너 어디야?
저 지금 학교에서 집으로 가는 길인데요.
아직도 안 들어오니?
가고 있다니까요.
아빠가 마저 나갔으니까 빨리 와. 알았어?
네. Like those kind of sounds, which are not actually a call, but a pre-recorded sound, would be in phone, and we will give the customers the option to record those kind of options by themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, I really like the idea. As a woman, I think I really need it. And I really like how you articulate your ideas and show the prototype and the full kind of short customer scenario as an example. So yeah, I really like it. Thank you.
Thank
you. Since we have 30 seconds, I'll just ask a really quick question. So initially you started with sustainability, and then you have a product that's designed around women and protecting women. Could you, in maybe one sentence, kind of link a bit more concretely sustainability as a concept and this particular design?
As we've initially said, we have linked the sustainability as a concept of preservation for future generations. As the number of crime rates are increasing at the status quo, we are to preserve prevent more people from getting victimized of these kind of certain crimes, so that we can sustain a local community even better and increase quality.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next team coming to the stage is Borrow, Ride, Earn. Love the name. Looking forward to it.
And this one?
네, 커피 started. 네.
네네네. 소리도 키우고.
잠시만요.
Okay.
잠시만요. Can you hear me?
We can start.
Hello, this is Hyujang Olivia Ha, the presenter for the company named Teeny. This is the table of content. First of all, I would like to pinpoint some problems that Teeny is trying to solve. Firstly, the lack of economic experience of teenagers. And secondly, the presence of abandoned transportation, such as bicycles, kick scooters, and more. Secondly, I would like to pinpoint the key values of Teeny, including providing economic experience to teenagers, and secondly, activating the use of abandoned transportations. And we believe that Teeny, which is the abandoned transportations transaction platform, is the best website to accomplish those key values. Moving on, I would explain how Teeny works in the perspective of lender. First of all, I would go into Teeny. Then I would log in. Then I would choose to be the lender. And I would fill in the lending info, including my name,
email address, type of transportation, and etc. I'll also attach the photo of the transportation that I would like to lend and include additional information. 네. 네.
Sorry.
처음부터 다시 시작해요?
아니 거기서부터.
그럼 랜더 처음부터 해도 될까요?
Okay.
Sorry for the confusion. And from now on, I will explain how Teeny works in the perspective of lender. First of all, lender would go into Teeny. Then they would log in. And they would fill out the lending information, including their name, email address, type of transformation, and else.
이게 잠시만 또 꺼졌어.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
No problem. We love your face too.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So, sorry for the second confusion. I'll begin from now on, I will tell you how Teeny works in terms of lender. First of all, lender would go into Teeny and log into the website. Then they would choose to be the lender. Then they would type in their lending information, including their names, email address, type of transformation, and etc. Then they'll attach the photo of their transportation. Moving on, they'll fill out some additional information, including the maximum rental area such as GEC, Seoul, or etc. Then they would submit it. Moving on to the borrower. Borrower would go into Teeny, log in, choose to be the borrower, and search for the transportation that they're looking for in terms of their type, color, location, and time period. Then, as they search, the results will come up. Among the results, the borrower will be able to choose one single product, like so. Then, they will be able to check Sorry for the third confusion. So we would begin from how Teeny works in terms of borrower. The borrower would enter Teeny, log in, and choose to be the borrower. Then they would search up the type of transportation that they're looking for in terms of the type, color, location, and else. Then the results will come up. And among those products, the borrower will be able to choose one product. Then they will be able to check their type, lend time, location, quality, price, and else. In terms of price, the borrower and the lender would be able to contact with each other and negotiate with the price. Moving on to the revenue streams, as I formerly mentioned, the renting price would be decided through the conversation between the lender and the borrower. And the borrower would first pay the renting price to Teeny, and Teeny will receive 20% of the price. This, like regulations, this would be informed to lender and the borrower. Moving up to the scale of strategies, we would first conduct a proof of concept, which can be abbreviated into POC. We would first conduct POC in Jeju Global Education City. During the school year or during the term, Teeny will launch the service for the students living in the GEC. This means that students living in the GEC would be the lender or the borrower. And during the vacation, Teeny will launch the service for the tourists within Shinhwa World. How? Teeny would first borrow transportations from local citizens. Then, Teeny would lend those transportations to the tourists. After Teeny gets approved, Teeny will firstly work on regional expansion, especially around school areas. Thus, Teeny will be expanded from GEC to Andongmyeon to Seogwipo City, the Jeju Province, mainland, and gradually to the world. Then, as the number of members increase, the Teeny would let the members not only to share their products, but also to trade their transportations. Then, the Teeny would actually let the members to trade their transportations as well as other goods or other talents. To sum up, the scale-up strategies will be following the order of firstly being regional expansion, secondly, the creation of different ways, and thirdly, creation of different categories. To connect the idea of Teeny to sustainability, Teeny is a website that encourages students to use their bikes over and over again, not to abandon them. That'll enable the amount of resources that are being abused to be decreased. Also, Teeny is the website that encourages students to experience economical traits and actually ride their bikes rather than to rely on their parents' cars. This will gradually purify the air and make the air quality better. Last but not least, this is our lovely team composed of myself being the presenter, Songi being the designer, Seoyoung being the designer, and Minju being the idea owner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, team. Now
Thank
let's hear
you.
from the judges.
How about Mr. Yang?
Okay. Okay, I have a quick question about a thing. By the way, your presentation was pretty good. I like it.
Thank you.
And well, I'm wondering about if you guys really thought about the risk of this deal they make it. Like, for example, borrower gets the bicycle, but he or she couldn't really well riding the bicycle. But if this person took it out to a public road and then drive it when the cars are passing by, it's pretty dangerous situation. I don't know if you guys thought about that one too.
We're actually planning to connect to the local carpenters. For example, 삼천리 자전거, and they'll take care of the qualities and the skills of the riders, so we can also take care of them. And we didn't really think about how we'll specifically make those people safer, but we will make the stations, and in the stations we have safety materials also. So yeah, I think that will be a good alternative.
Yep. And if the driver gets injured by while riding bicycles or riding on other transportations, the insurance will be able to cover some of the costs that are being paid. And secondly, the borrower and the lender can have a negotiation in regards to the payment.
Other things to say?
Okay, that answers me some part of my questions. Have you guys? Did you look into a model when working with the insurance company? No, not yet. Okay. All right. Okay, that's it. My question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Hannah again.
Hey.
Oh, Michael, were you going to ask a question?
No, you.
Okay, me. Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. Great job. I loved the prototype also, even though there were some technical issues. I wanted to piggyback off of Ron's question as well. I think it's a very important one because that's a big issue also with the other apps like Sokar, where you're sharing essentially those products. And so kind of having a really strong idea about who bears the risk of even things like accidents or what happens if someone steals the product, who will actually pay for that. And if it's teeny, that might be detrimental as well. But it might, I'm thinking one thing that you might also consider is there might be a way to do a rating system. So for example, if like Uber or others, it's not just the customer who rates the driver, but the driver also can rate the customer as well to see if it's a good match or not. I'm also wondering and this isn't so core. Oh, one's kind of core. I'm curious even about the pricing mechanism. And it might not be fixed yet. It might depend on the transportation type. I'm also interested if you did a little bit of work in terms of who might actually want to be a lender or a borrower, if there are actually those who are interested in doing this. And then lastly, why did you come up with the name Teeny? If it's for teenager, teeny, yes.
That's the answer. That's the answer. And as you would have guessed, the actual target consumers of our website or product is actually teenagers. And we use the name teeny because teenagers would be our target customers and target market. And we chose teenagers as being our possible consumers because bicycles and other bicycles, inline skaters, roller scooters, kick scooters, and etc. can be the transportations where teenagers would be able to borrow and then ride for a certain amount of time.
So if you're a teenager, how would you pay for the service? Because if you have to use a credit card, you're not old enough to have a credit card. So how would that work?
We're planning to connect with Toss or Kakao Pay, and after our platform expands and there are many users, like a 당근 market, we can also make our own like banking system, which will be also really pervading and a powerful thing in our platform.
Adding on, since we talked how lender and the borrower, who would most likely be both teenagers, would be able to negotiate with the price, I believe that they would not set the price to be too high.
Oh, so it's negotiated among the buyer seller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That has been actually mentioned in the revenue system. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, time's up. Thank you so much, team.
Bye.
Okay, now we invite our next team, Yul Mei. Please let me know how to pronounce that. It sounds a very interesting name.
And you're thin. 소리 어떻게 키니? 오케이, 소리 키고. 그럼 어디 보는데?
그거예요. 세 번째 거. 세 번째 거.
오케이.
말하면 되나요?
Okay, start.
You start? Okay. So when people think of Jeju, they think of tangerine farmers. The reality is that even people in Jeju eat oranges from the mainland or other countries, which just doesn't make sense. Jeju residents are eager to grow plants, but there's this fundamental problem of not knowing where to go, what to buy, or what to do. Also, some people also sign up for fruit picking programs, but they cannot experience other process apart from picking oranges. And here is when we come in. We are Yarme Team 10, and this is our solution, a platform that connects farmers and non-farmers. Farmers bring personalized trees to non-farmers on a yearly basis, giving them the opportunity to 1, experience the process of growing oranges, and 2, to eat reliable and trustable food. To do so, we plan to create an application where people walk around this gamified metaverse like a simulation video game. Once the customer buys a tree, our application will give step-by-step planting information through our virtual world. Farmers, by renting their trees to the people, will not only gain increased profit compared to themselves selling oranges, but also have people taking care of their farm when they themselves cannot manage to do so. Also, our business will have partnership contract with a company that produces farming tools, so their products can pop up in our shop with discounts. In addition, our application will send constant notifications to the users to encourage them to check on their trees. Like this picture, customers can go to this place in their app, purchase a tree, and then go to the real farm to complete the task given on our application. According to NBC News, 200 to 300 tourists and Jeju residents every day are visiting Jeju farms to experience picking oranges, and as it can be seen on the map, there are already lots of farms in Jeju providing that service. Also in Seoul, there is farmland of 1,430,000 meters squared, proving the desire of people to farm their own crops. We stand out from these other business in 3 ways. First, our solution is fresh. This experience itself is new, exclusive, and exciting, especially for families with children. This experience is also fun in that it makes the stage of learning more enjoyable. With smartphones not only being a living item, but also a serious addiction, we start from this familiar medium of smartphone, then encourage physical activity through this game. Also, we make everything easy. We make the process of farming easier by making the purchase of farming opportunity and farming items easier, and by giving them the step-by-step farming instruction to the user. Our main target customer is Jeju residents who are interested in orange farms, especially family groups who have children to enjoy physical activities of growing and picking oranges. Also, since the people who purchase things will be parents, our target group can be specified into 30 to 40 years old adults living in Jeju. Marketing strategies that our business was planning to employ are posting flyers and posters, having partnership, and employing social media marketing. Posting flyers will be very effective because we are clearly promoting to our target audience, but the cost for this promotion is very low. Also, in partnership with an equipment tool company, we'll promote their item on our app, and they will give our users discount and promote such discounts on their website. Lastly, we will focus on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Naver for social media marketing. We will need research and application development costs, application maintenance costs, marketing costs, and employee wages. In terms of revenue, we'll be making revenue from commission fee for every match between farmer and customer, which will be around 5 to 10%. When our application has enough customer, we'll add an in-app advertisement to get additional revenue. So, why us? We are a group of 4 students from Jeju. We live in this place and we know this place. So we believe that it makes sense for us to start this business about Jeju over anyone else living in the mainland. Also, we are teenagers who use and thus understand what gamification and metaverse are and what it can bring to the users. By combining our technical skills and knowledge, we can make familiar and comfortable application that customers can use. Our business name Yeolmae comes from a Korean word that has the meaning of fruit. Thank you, and this was Yeolmae.
Stop. Thank you. Clap. Please, judges, first questions.
May I ask, why do you choose this problem among the lot of the other problems? Is there any background story?
When I was young, with my family, I go to a pear orchard, and I really enjoyed that memory. But in this day, we can't go to the orchard because we don't have people who own the orchard nearby us. So by this platform, we connect the farmers who have the orange orchard and the customer who wants to plant their orchard but who doesn't have their farm, and we want to make that process easily.
And also, like these days, smartphones are being a living item, and also for the teenagers, that is the factor of the addiction. So we would like to encourage the physical activities but also get interested to by combining gamification, like teenagers can also interested in with our business more easily.
You mentioned that memories, which means you need to find the people who take care of the memories, right? Yep, good start. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I have sorry. I'll ask really quickly and then I'll go to Ron. I'm so selfish. Thank you so much for your presentation. And the gamification really reminded me, of course, of Tree Planet, which I'm sure you might have seen as well. I'm curious about specifically your target right now, because I saw a little bit of everything. And so, for example, you mentioned teenagers as well because they're very used to gamification and SNS. But at the same time, you mentioned earlier that you also wanted to target, say, parents in their 30s to 40s if they have children. And so the children might also want to get interested. Then you started off by, I actually really appreciated that you started off with an assessment of the potential market. So, for example, those in Jeju with farms and also those urban farming in Seoul. So I'm curious specifically who you're targeting primarily. So who's your core customer segment, especially when it comes to revenue. And then the second one is why you choose only to limit that to Jeju when it's gamification, and then technically you can be anywhere.
Also for the target user, even though our target users are 30 to 40 ages people,
The teenagers or the children from the family can be the users because they can easily get interested into our application, as it is not simple application but use the gamification form of application. Like they can ask their parents to use and join our business. So that is why we try to use several marketing strategies such as social marketing for the children and then poster for the parents. And for the farmers, we would like to ask farmers who are owning the fruit or tree garden via call or ask them to share part of their plate with the payment which they may interested in it, as they are struggling with the low demand and decreasing purchase rate for the oranges these days, according to the NBC News that we mentioned before.
And for the market expansion, we plan to start in Jeju because we are talking about tangerine, and for branding and stuff, it's easier to start in this one location, especially when we're gathering farmers who are interested. But in future, we plan to expand to other locations. But especially as we talked about, there are a lot of these similar business in Seoul, and we wanted to start in this location because we know this place the best, and we would like to start in this familiar place. Yeah.
Okay. So my question was very similar to Hannah's question anyway. So I got some answers already. But anyway, I'd like to add that adding, like combining the farming, tangerine or orange farming with the gamification, I think that is a brilliant idea. But somehow I still wonder about who is your customer really at the end. Like newbie farmers are your customer, or maybe already existing farmers' children. They get interested in you guys want them to get interested in the farming business. That's why you add the gamification. I'm still confusing still, but anyway, it is a brilliant idea. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, our target customer are newbie farmers, as you mentioned. This application is kind of an introduction to farming, and it teaches the customers how to plant step by step. So it is targeting newbie, not the children of existing farmers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Next one, Gigi. Welcome to stage.
Sorry. So sorry. 탭 하나 봐요. 이거? 아니 밑에 거. 이거? 네.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Minsa Alexon, the co-founder of Gigi. Gigi is a company that guides citizens on how to properly recycle and aims not only to promote, but to act on sustainability. Our logo is a pine tree because it symbolizes a bright future. Just like pine trees, Gigi aims for a bright future and advocates recycling to be properly conducted with a bit of efficiency. Before I start this, let me ask you a question. How many plastic bags and bottles do you think are being produced every year? Since it's online, I'll just answer. Over 450 tons of plastic bags and PET bottles are being produced and used, but only 50% of it is recycled, and only 10 and 13 do not know how to recycle properly here in Jeju, South Korea. Another question. Should this plastic straw be recycled or thrown to the general waste bin? I'll answer again. If the plastic straw is made of plastic, that doesn't mean that it is recyclable. There are many other examples just like this that are incorrectly recycled, which later impacts the environment in the long run. A solution to this is that people should be educated on how to recycle waste correctly. Now, is there a system that educates and guides people on how to recycle? Fortunately, yes, there is. A system planned called 환경도우미 is actually being initiated by the government. But is it easily accessible? Not really.
It requires physical interactions between people because the helpers actually help out by being there in front of people. In a time like this, it's not as effective as it should be. So to summarize the current situation, over 450 tons of plastic are being produced, but people do not know how to correctly recycle, which ultimately impacts climate change. In just 3 days, my team came up with a solution to this. What if there was an app that guided people to recycle properly with steps, guiding them to the nearest trash bin to recycle? Let's have a look at the screen. This is our app, Recyclable. Recyclable uses the barcode system to scan the barcode of the waste the user has, and the user receives instructions on how to recycle depending on the type of waste. We also use green tags. Green tags are NFC chips that will be attached to all waste bins in the community, especially here in Jeju, the GC community that we're in. Users will then be able to locate the nearest bin by using the location API system. Plus, there's the Greenleaf social media platform to notify locations of the bins through the community as it is shown. Through the research we have done, we have found the company called 오늘의 분리수거. This is the exact same company that we've heard from Mr. Kyle Kim, our mentor. Everything is the same except for the fact that they produce their own machinery, the recyclable trash cans. Compared to Gigi, we use barcode systems, which is way more convenient than 오늘의 분리수거. Why are we better? First of all, we have easier product management because we have only 2 variables, the app and the green tags. Number 2, there's no difficulty in schedule management. We don't have to pick up the trash. Number 3, no labor force is needed. The app gives the instructions to the people, not actual people physically. Number 4, there are no extra expenses needed for inspections and checkups in terms of machinery. We just need to keep the app going and running. In 3 to 4 years, the recyclable app, we estimate, will have gained around 464,000 users, which are the most residents of Jeju. With the possibilities with all of these users are unimaginable. First of all, once we reach the tipping point and exceed the number of users, we will be able to promote other businesses with their ethical aspects becoming an ad platform. Number 2, we will be able to sell our database to the manufacturing companies, as shown here, and become a mass data provider. All of this, plus, we will be able to appeal to our business to the government and obtain their support, which is subsidies, and further improvise in making our recycling database. All this has just happened in 3 days. Imagine all the other possibilities that Gigi will be capable of. Thank you.
Let's start the. Okay, thank you. Right, invite the judges for.
Sorry.
I believe that. Hi guys. Thank you for your presentation. Right. I believe that every solution have pros and cons. Right.
Yes.
You are saying that the cons of your solution. What is the pros of your solutions to compete with your competitor?
Yes.
Please. What is the weak point of your solution?
Since we're using barcode systems, we need to access the big companies' databases. And it is not as easy because we would have to do this to the big companies. So we would have to go around every single convenience store and actually take pictures of the products, which will be hard and not as time efficient as having trash bins, but it will be helpful in the long run. So our con right now will become a pro in the long run.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm done.
Next.
As I know, in Jeju, there is still recycling program that doesn't need any labor force. So how do you guys service can replace that current system?
We are able to have location systems, as we've mentioned. So not a lot of people in Jeju know about the recycling places. They know that there is one, but they don't know where it is exactly. we have a location system where it allows people to locate where the trash bins are. So in terms of having more, I guess, access, we would be better than the Jeju.
Also, like for the competitors, like their companies like focus on the benefits of the customers, but in our case, we give benefits to other businesses where we can sell our database to them, and we also can earn a lot of profit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a follow-up question. I'm still a little confused about the monetization of the business. And so you mentioned that you can sell the database to big companies. What exactly are you selling, and what is it that you provide that others aren't providing?
We are selling the data of the taste and preferences of the customers. So, for example, if I had a Coke bottle and I prefer to have Diet Coke rather than the actual Coke, but the companies don't know this because we have access to what they throw out, and we can provide the taste and preferences of the customers in more accurate detail.
Also, in case of the water bottles, like recently the Asis water bottle company removed their labeling stickers, and then however, like Samdasu didn't do that. So in this case, our database will help them to improvise on their design and product.
One quick thing. Okay, I just drank this Starbucks coffee, but it doesn't have a barcode. You guys doesn't treat this product trash at all?
Not really. So we would treat the product, except since it doesn't have a barcode, the user would have to manually search how to throw out plastic in our search bar. And it will show the steps of how to throw away. Our main goal is to provide steps and instructions on how to properly recycle. So I believe that manually typing it in won't be as inconvenient as actually walking all the way to the trash bin.
Okay.
I have an additional question. I don't know if it's a question or a comment because I don't have the answer. But sometimes when there are great sustainability ideas, the question that I often run into is this better suited as a business, or is it better suited perhaps as a campaign? And I actually think that if you work with, say, the local government, as you mentioned, it might be something that they might be able to incorporate, which goes back to my original question about, is this, again, better suited as a standalone business? So how do we monetize? Or is it something that, especially if awareness is the biggest kind of key metric you're using, whether that might be a better outlet? And so it's not really a question, just something that I'm thinking about as well.
For the first 3 to 4 years, as we've mentioned, we would try to gain users. And with all the users that we have so much more to do as a business, just like Facebook. It started out in communities, but then they actually used it as a business model, and that's what we're aiming for. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. How impressed I am with everything that's coming out here this afternoon. It's extremely inspiring. Okay, so we're gonna go now to our online teams. Circle line.
Oh, Marina, I think this is my turn. Jebai? Yes. I think you're mute. Okay. All right. I'm gonna continue.
Go on, Q. It's your turn.
Oh, yep. Hello, everyone. My name is Q Cho. I'm the co-founder of Jebai. Another co-founder is Tom Chambers. So Jebai means please in Korean. We wanted to promote the idea, please recycle the used ice packs so that we can keep the planet cool. Our main mission is to reduce the climate change via waste reduction and circular economy. So currently, as many of you are noticing,
you're not sharing your screen.
Oh. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'll start with the problem. So as many of you have noticed, throwing away ice packs have been a significant issue in South Korea. Even our mentors from this weekend were recognizing that they have many unused ice packs in their freezers. In 2016, there have been 110 million ice packs that were manufactured, but it tripled in 2020. Now we have about 320 million ice packs, which is equivalent to 647 tons of greenhouse gas in 2020. So we were identified two separate issues at home and the small businesses. So the first problem is the home users that are not well educated how to dispose the ice packs. So because they don't know how to throw away properly, 80% are getting dumped in a general waste that are being burnt, and 15% are getting dumped into the pipes through the toilet or the kitchen sink, which can be very harmful for the environment. And then the second problem that we've noticed from the business is they want to have a cost-effective solutions for the ice packs. The 5 restaurants and the 2 fish markets that we have spoken to, they put as many ice packs as they want. They need to keep the cold food to be stay fresh. And in 2023, the Ministry of Environment is planning to charge tax on the ice packs. So which we are foreseeing that the cost of the ice packs is going to increase in the future. So the existing solutions, big corporations like Market Curly or SSG already implemented eco-friendly ice packs for cold food delivery with the filling up ice water. However, it's not as effective as a hydrogel ice packs. And the second existing solution is that local governments have been providing the recycling bins to clean and to redistribute to the small businesses. However, because a lot of local governments have been doing this with the volunteers manually doing the labor of the cleaning, it hasn't been too efficient. So we are suggesting a solution with the 2 technologies. First is the recycling bins, and the second is the tracker. So we call it the smart bins, which will let us to monitor the types of ice packs and notify us it's full and ready to be picked up. And then smart bins will automatically clean the ice packs within the bin, and smart bins can be shown on the mobile website or the mobile app that we'll be developing. And these we're going to be utilizing the existing recycling bins that the governments already have installed in a lot of locations. We have a plan to upgrade to the certain functionalities that we would like, so that we are just going to gather the location information and then put it into the tracker information so that the public can easily access to that information. So therefore, we're providing the value proposition to the customers by easy access to the smart bins and to the small business with lower cost of ice packs. And then here's the business model that we're proposing. So there is, according to our research, $32 million of the total market share. However, we're just targeting about 10% of the market total market share in 2020. And
time is up. Okay, judges, your turn.
Thank you so much, team. Yes.
Maybe you can 1 more minute to explain your business model. What is the pricing model?
Okay.
just by your voice without the presentation?
Oh yeah, so we have a subscription model that we have figured it out. So it's as you are buying more ice packs, the cost will be cheaper. So currently, the ice packs are sold at 101 Korean won, but we are trying to sell it at as low cost as a 50 Korean won. But the most expensive would be 80 Korean won. And this is a monthly subscription model.
Thank you. Next question.
Maybe Lina? Hannah?
Ron, I believe you put your hand up.
Okay, I will make Hannah. Okay, I will make a quick round. Okay, so ice pack recycling problem. I get it. It's an important issue. It's a good that you took this one as an issue and then try to solve it. But I still, I mean, I hear about your pricing model a little bit, but you probably need to develop things like software, hardware, recycle bins, and also this has to be produced in the factory. It has to be shipped to many different locations. So shipping business, you need to also consider that. I'm not really sure if you consider those costs in your pricing model.
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, so the initial cost can be pretty costly, but at the same time, what we're trying to do is just like we're trying to upgrade the existing recycling bins that the governments have been putting, and then we're trying to partner with the governments to utilize the recycling bins, and then maybe implement more from the government perspective. And also, you're right about the software development perspective, but at the same time, we already have those information. We just need to put it into a visual map style where I don't foresee that it's going to be that costly. And at the same time, for the logistics parts, I'm not too worried about it, only because there are going to be a lot of recycling bins that can be pretty nearby the small businesses. There have been already a lot of recycling bins been installed in the neighborhoods across the peninsula.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just want to make one comment. Like, I'm right now doing the My Workspace, this co-working space business. So we are selling the space, and sometimes space, like having those recycle bins, like that one, is important issue for the small business. Just one quick comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
I have yes. Thank you so much for the presentation, and I'm really looking forward to a really great idea that can deal with that issue because I think it's a very important one. I think with the current business model, I suppose there are two major aspects. So there's the supply side and then there's the demand side. And so you also mentioned that for individuals, sometimes you don't quite know how to recycle the ice packs. And so I'm wondering, let's say that there's a lot of demand from small companies that want it, but there isn't enough supply of the ice packs because individuals are still uncertain about how to recycle, or maybe they feel that they don't have an incentive to. So I'm wondering if there's a way that you're thinking about trying to make sure that it's quite balanced in terms of the supply as well as the demand, and also where you plan.
So we are trying to have a online awareness campaign first, and then so that people can be aware of there is recycling bins like this. Number one, and then number two is in Korea there are apartments who do like recycles every Sunday or Saturdays. So
Thank you, team.
it
Thank
can
you,
be,
thank you
it
so
can,
much. Sorry, we need
sorry.
to move on. I know, but look, great questions. Write them down. Reach out in private, but we need to continue as a team presentation. We did get a question from the following team in terms of they would like two presenters to be on stage. They wonder if that's possible.
Oh, no, but we will be sharing their presentation for them.
All right. So, as I mentioned once before, be too early, circle line is.
And Jose, be on standby with the presentation, please.
2 hours continuously, judging is hard for me, right? For the little senior people.
It's a very good point, Michael. This is hard
Senior,
work. Yeah.
seniors.
I think it is for all of us. It's intense. It's an intense content, paying attention. Yes, thank you for all the judges for the hard work.
I need the sugar, right?
Yeah.
Yuri, please accept the invite to the stage. Otherwise, you cannot present. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And Jose, please share the presentation.
Oh, can I share my presentation?
Oh, yeah, if you can share on your computer, that's better. Okay.
Okay.
If you're ready, I'm setting up the timer. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Go.
Hello, everyone. We are Cycleline. We aim to spread out the upcycling culture and create a sustainable world. I'm Giri, and I will be presenting our idea to all of you. Upcycling. To quickly define what is upcycling, it's a combination of the word upgrade and recycling, which means creating something new from discarded material by repairing or repurposing them. Our research showed the recycling market, which include upcycling, differed significantly among developed countries, and 61% of consumers are unaware of upcycling products, proving the difficulty of the upcycling market. There were also difficulties on the upcycling companies, and upcycling companies are not being able to create product even after receiving order because of lack of the material. Throughout our interview, we found out on the user end that a lot of them are unawareness of the term upcycling, and it is hard to access the upcycling experience. In order to have an in-depth understanding of user, we create user persona and journey map. After this, we have decided on a target user in their 30s and 40s who can afford to protect available consumption. Throughout our journey map, one of our persona, Kim Hyo-ju, who is interested in the environment, want to buy upcycled product, but feel like it is time-consuming and challenging to find an upcycled product that matches her interest. From this, our program states on the user end, there is a lack of awareness of upcycling and low accessibility between buyer and consumer. On the upcycling company end, there is a difficulty in repeatability the upcycling market in Korea because upcycling companies have been able to produce smoothly due to lack of material. So, circling includes virtual circulation as misled platform for consumer and upcycling company. We want to increase access to upcycle by providing consumer with information about upcycle product and facilitate product disposal and provide feedback on upcycle products to ensure continuous upcycling engagement. Let's take a look at the simulation of the platform we are suggesting. First of all, if the app is launched, you can see the upcycle product at a glance and get recommendation for product that suit your taste and trends. It also comes with
the service for consumers who are struggling to dispose of furniture. Also, when user does upcycling activities, the user can check my environment contribution through my page. You can also see that the product discarded by the user has been duly created. In our proposed solution, there are three benefits to solving upcycling problem at the same time. Waste disposal consumer can dispose of free of charge through the app, and upcycling company can reduce the cost of the fabrication process by providing good material. Upcycling consumer also experience a wide range of consumption experience comparing various products. For our business model, we estimate $173 million world transaction every year and $8.65 billion revenue from 5% commissions. As for our competition, we felt like although there are several platforms that sell upcycled products, our app will be encompassing all the benefit and considering the needs of market. This is an estimate of market size for our go-to-market strategy. In the pre-launch stage, we plan to contact upcycling companies, partner with disposal companies, and do beta testing with potential customers. In the post-launch stage, we plan to suggest plugin service, expand the partnership further, and do brand marketing. And so, yes, thank you.
Perfectly on time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like the idea of how people can see their social impact on the website, since a lot of like newer generation do care about their social impact as well. So yeah, I really like the idea, and I think those kind of platform is things that like newer generation really want to shop. So, so I have a question on the product sourcing. So, is the platform connect the manufacturer and the brand, or is the platform is kind of just e-commerce platform for B2C consumers?
Yes, both of them.
What would be the primary needs, or the more important problem that the potential customer wants?
Platform connecting consumer and upcycling companies is with we concentrating that their users.
괜찮으시면 한국어로 대답을 하시면 돼요.
해도 될까요?
한국어로 하시면 돼요.
네네네.
혹시 그러면 죄송하지만
한국 사람들이 이제 일반 소비자랑 이제 일반 소비자들이 이런 업사이클링 제품을 사게 하는 플랫폼인지, 아니면은 업사이클링 제품을 만드는 제조사랑 그걸 이제 뭔가 브랜드화 시킬 수 있는 브랜드사랑 연결을 하는 건지 좀 궁금했었어요.
네, 그 두 가지 다 갖고 가는 건데요. 우선 저희 초점은 먼저 유저랑 그 일반 사용자들이 저희 업사이클링 서클라인 플랫폼을 이용을 해서 그 업사이클링을 실천할 수 있도록 도와주는 거가 일단은 메인 포인트긴 한데, 그 도와주는 영역이 이제 소비에서 다시 폐기된 거를 소비로 넘어가게끔 도와주는 역할로서 우리의 플랫폼이 있기 때문에 네, 그래서 우리는 어떤 업체들과의 연계를 해서 그 유저의 어떤 니즈를 충족시켜주는, 네, 그거가 우선인 것 같아요. 네.
리사이클링을 하면 그거에 따라서 용량에 따라서 다시 업사이클링 제품을 구매할 수 있게끔 해주는 건가요?
네, 이제 업사이클링이라는 게 먼저 어떤 제품을 소비자가 사고 그 다음에 그거를 이제 사용을 하고 그리고 폐기를 하게 되잖아요. 근데 이제 폐기한 제품을 다시 새롭게 만드는 게 업사이클이라는 거니까 이렇게 다시 새롭게 만드는 그 커넥션이 되게 어려워서 그렇게 연결되는 게 어려워서 그게 우리가 연결되게끔 하기 위해서 이제 소비자들에게 너네가 만약에 가구를 버리면은 우리가 그거를 이제 그 가구를 버리려고 한다면 우리한테 줘. 우리가 그러면은 그 자재가 부족한 그런 업사이클링 업체들한테 줘서 그들한테 새로운 프로덕트를 만들게 할게. 이렇게 해서 그러면은 이제 소비자가 그렇게 소비자에게 뭔가 업사이클링을 실천할 수 있고 그리고 업체들도 자재가 되게 부족했는데 충족시켜 줄 수 있는 그런 약간 시스템으로 돼 있기 때문에 일단 이거의 목표는 먼저 우리 그 업사이클링에 대한 일반인들의 인식을 먼저 좋게 하기 위해서 좋은 경험을 새로운 경험과 좋은 경험을 먼저 이제 실천하게끔 해서 그거에 대한 이제 네, 베네핏으로 네. 네, 너무 대답이 길었어요.
네, 잘 들었습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
그 첫 단계에서 우리가 소비자들이 우리를 통해서 자신들의 폐기품 뭐 이런 거를 우리한테 일종의 공급하는 건데 공급하게 할 좋은 유인책이 뭐가 있을까요?
우선은 그 소비자들은 업사이클 제품에 접근하기 어려워한다는 그런 조사 결과가 있었어요. 그래서 저희는 그 앱이라는 형태를 통해서 좀 쉽게 접근을 할 수 있고, 그리고 그리고 이제 리워드 방식으로 좀 그 소비자에게 만약에 원래는 가구를 버릴 때 돈을 주고 버려야 되는데 돈을 주지 않고 버려도 되게끔 하고 그리고 그 어떤 리워드 방식을 아직은 좀 더 고안해내고 있어요. 그래서 어떻게 그 버린 가구가 새롭게 만들어졌는지를 보여주면서 네, 이렇게 정보를 제공을 하는 거죠. 그리고 환경에 도움이 되는지도 보여주는 거죠. 이렇게 업사이클링을 실천해 주셔서 오늘 가구를 태우지 않아서 이산화탄소가 낮아졌다. 네, 이런 식으로.
Okay. The end.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to our next thing, plastic tokens.
Louis, please.
Yeah.
We have
Hello,
another
nice to
team,
meet
right?
you. I will try to explain our idea. Sorry, we came to this idea, Happy Plastics.
But share your screen first.
I am actually sharing it. No, sorry about that. Do you see it now?
Yes, we see your screw.
Can you see my presentation now?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Hi, so I will try to explain you our idea that we call Happy Plastics. So first of all, we are dealing with the problem of plastic pollution, and basically while plastic production is growing, the recycling of this material is reducing. And there are different factors that make this. One is that after China like banned the import in 2019, it make a big problem for Korea because it was the main buyer. Second one, of course, the COVID-19, as it is making increase in the plastic production. And this means more material to deal and less demand of this material. Even the first of the people like to differentiate the material and to collect them. Even though all these, like following the studies, like 65% of this material is actually burned still. And that's why also there is a need more like of participation of the government. The solution that we imagine then is like to try to actually reuse recycle this material and transforming. And the process of this has different phases. So the material collection, the material sorting, the material transformation, and the product creation. And this is where we come. And what we do, what we're trying to do is like to provide a fine experience for people to achieve and collect more, but also encourage creators, designers, and business to recycle plastic and use it as a source of material. So, but we will implement a reward system, advertisement, and the education programs by creating community and measuring impact. So to explain a bit better, the agents involved are basically we are a platform that connects users or consumers that will collect specific plastic items like bottle caps. Also, business, associations, institutions as potential collectors, while partnership with education programs. And designer companies willing to transform the material to create products with it. So this is the business model campus. I would just like to point out a bit the value proposal. So we basically transform plastic waste into a more meaningful, useful, and long-lasting material, foment recycled plastic transformation and application, by providing sorted and fixed amount of material to the design studios that are in need for it. We try to make a bit of research of what could be the market, and we would like to point that the furniture market, which is high in Korea, and is the most potential transformation of this plastic. It's growing and it's high, and also like the people that care about sustainability is also growing, and the interest about this material is growing. We made some interviews to people, just like to resume quickly. People do care, people would like to participate, people are willing to give their plastic lids, for example, getting in back rewards and free products, and they are even willing to pick it up to put it in an area around the neighborhood. So we identify different kind of people that might be interested, and people like that want to live more like in between 25 to 40 years, potentially women that will like to live a more conscious life, like support the environment, and other ones that are, for example, designers that enjoy creating work and want to use the recycled items, and other one, for example, that is a student from high school or university that participates in collective donations and educational programs and enjoy games and fun.
And you're done. Your time is up.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much. First question.
this is a bit how the material can be transformed.
Maybe you could have one more minute to explain about what kind of a big idea in your proposal. What is
Yeah,
big?
basically, yeah, as a resume, the thing is that there are more designers every time that are willing to use this material, but they cannot design the material, transform the material, and collect the material. So what we want to do is to collect the material for them so that they can focus just on the design. And they right now cannot, like, the problem that they're having is like when they also collect, they don't have like exact amount of what material they can have, so they cannot also like have in mind what can they produce in order for them also to make something that is sustainable for them. So with us, as we also have connect these collectors and consumers, and with partnerships, basically we give the regards to the people that collect, and we also provide certain amount of material to the designers, and also sorted by colors, so that they can focus on their job, and more designers are willing to use this material, and we really start to use this material instead of being burned. This is the idea about.
Thank you, team. We have a couple of minutes left for the first question.
Maybe I'll ask. So thank you so much, Lise, for your presentation. It's a very timely issue, and so I'm glad that you're addressing it. I'm wondering if you could maybe tell us, say, one specific competitor in your market who might be doing something similar. And so perhaps you could mention one in particular, but also what you're doing that's very unique.
Super. Yes, like right now, for example, in Korea, there is these guys for place which they are basically producing sheets, and they are dealing with the problem also that they actually have to collect, and at least, but they are like trying to focus in on the production on sheets, so they can sell the sheets directly as a material for designers to transform. For us, we don't see this as a competitor, because we think we can focus on the collection, and they can continue to focus more on the production of the sheet, and we even work as a partnership with them. And as we will be instead the only ones that deal with the collection, because there is no one that is dealing with this here, we also will grow together, and at a certain point we can also decide when to participate in the production of sheets, bars, or so on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions for the team?
How could you make a first kind of a partners in this platform?
Can you repeat, please?
Do you have any idea to find great initial partners in this platform?
Yes.
Right?
So this is one of the ones that we find. 4Place is a really good one, because they are producing the sheets, and they can send to these design studios, because right now also these design studios, as I am saying, they have to cover not just the design, but also like the production and sometimes the collection, and they have sometimes small machines that allows them to have artisanal scale production. But still, if we are able to give them directly like more materials that is more easy to them to apply in the design, and they don't have to focus on the other things, that's why we are able to attract more designers to start to use this material. And at that point, growing also them, like not just like these items, but furniture or even construction, like walls, pavement, roofs. So this is 4Place could be like a really potential partner to grow.
Thank you so much. It will be great.
Thank you.
No more questions then. Thank you so much, judges and team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next team to come to present is Flax, our lovely Berry, Berry the basil.
I'm not the only one who need sugar, right?
We're all in this
Okay, go
together,
ahead.
Michael. We're with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, my dog.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Is my screen visible? Okay, so I would like to start in 3, 2, 1. So we came up with this idea called the mask task. So essentially our tagline is, our task is to ask for masks. So we are this mask aggregation and mask collection service. Our team consists of George, who was the main idea man and the STEM person who decided the technology and everything that goes around with the processing. And I was the business model person of our team. My name is Sulagna, by the way. So what is the problem that we identified? So of course, the problem is masks. So there is nothing called a recyclable mask. There's nothing. There's no form of mask that we can use for something else. And there have been enough research in this area where a professor has said through his research that if a mask is essentially recyclable, that means it is not effective against the virus. So recyclable masks do not exist. And the second thing is the mask wastes either are not disposed properly or are disposed in the existing system in the category of general waste in Korea, which is called ilban siregi. So next thing is the statistic 1, which we have collected through a survey that we made. So out of our responders to this question of how many masks do you dispose of on a weekly basis, these are the answers, and all of these responders live in Korea. Our second statistic is about the persona of each of these people who are disposing of their masks. So all of these people, 12 out of 12 responses, say they disposed of these masks with their other trash in the trash can, in the general, along with the general wastes of their household, of the neighborhood that they live in. So the population of Korea is 51 million. And now let us assume all of these people throw their masks away in the trash can, in the general waste, along with all their other wastes. So using our first statistic of how many masks are generated per week, it gives us an average 180 million masks disposed per week in the entirety of South Korea. So this brings us to our statistic 3. So out of the people who have responded to our survey, 42% of these people would rather use booths for changing, disposing, and buying new masks, which are placed outdoors. And they would also like to subscribe to a weekly collection service that collects their masks from their doorstep. So what is our solution? Of course, we recycle these masks which are not recyclable in and of themselves. So in terms of milestones which served as our insight, there is this French firm called Plaxtil, which in August 2020 started to recycle masks and make it into other material. So what is our technology? So first, the masks are quarantined, they're ground into small pieces, and they're subjected to ultraviolet light to decontaminate them before the recycling. So how it works, so we collect the masks and then we make these masks into something else. So it's essentially upcycling. So what is our plan? So as I talked about the booths, so this is a general design of a booth. So this is an ATM in my residence campus where I live in Daejeon. So it essentially has a glass or a fiber door, and one booth can fit one person. So we put these mask collection bins essentially inside these booths where people can go and change their masks, buy new masks, and just throw away the used mask in the collection bin. So what is our revenue model? So first of all, we do the mask aggregation. We send them to factories for processing, and the factories in turn send these processed recycled masks to the textile industries where the fabric from the masks is used for newer clothes. So we are the essential channels. We are the communication channels in this B2B business model, and there is no such competitor in Korea which does the exact same thing from discarded masks where no processing is required. So why would brands want to partner with us? Because it is a question of social responsibility. It is a question of sustainability, and it is which in turn affects their brand image. So we are the people who are going to give the direction and the essential connecting links in this entire process of mask disposal, factory processing, and recycling as other materials, say fabric. So the stakeholders include the entire human population in Korea, and this is both environmental friendly and pandemic friendly. Yeah, that would be it.
Time is up.
Okay, let me ask just one simple questions. Okay.
Yes.
Are you going to focusing on the mask aggregation only, or are you going to go further?
So our step in this process is we direct the entire flow, and we essentially consult with firms and companies who would like to use masks, as well as we collect the masks from people who dispose of the masks. So the people who dispose of the masks have a problem, like they don't have a place to throw away these masks. So we are essentially helping them to dispose of the things that they don't want. So we collect these masks, and then we supply the recycled fabric, recycled material to the people who would use them in newer products, say new clothes, new plastic materials.
Okay, surely saying focusing on aggregation itself, right?
Yes, aggregation and the entire direction.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It might be needed in anywhere, right?
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any questions?
I thought I saw Hannah unmute herself, so I was.
Oh, yes. Actually, I was about to ask pretty much the same question with Michael. So how would you sterilize the mask, use the mask?
So there would be factories, and there is essentially this French firm called Plaxtil, who have done the exact same process but there's no such competitor in South Korea. And what they do is they have this entire process. They collect the masks, they quarantine the masks itself for 4 days. So in a room or in a box, they keep the masks until the viruses are dead. Next process is they shred the masks into tiny pieces, and then they put binder in it, which then becomes a different material. The masks do not remain as masks. And the third step would be they subject it to ultraviolet light, and the masks are decontaminated in the entire process. And then it is applied to the textile factories or other factories which would need material for their businesses.
I have one more follow-up question. How would this business survive if Corona is over?
The world is always moving forward. So there is always one or the other issue with waste management, with the ever-increasing population and ever-increasing products that need that the waste of which products need some sort of recycling. So in that process, this existing system would then cater to the wastes that are generated in that status quo.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I also have a question, both with the supply side and the demand side. So have you identified any industries or corporations locally that would be interested or expressed interest in this? Because I think it might not be clear to see the final product from this, even if it's kind of decontaminated. There might be a bit of a stigma attached with anything related to, say, COVID masks. And so if there's interest on the demand side, but also for the supply side, although you, in your survey, which was great, that you initially said most people just threw it in the bin, is there a real merit for these normal users to throw it outside? Because for me, I've never changed my mask outside. And so I'm just wondering how you would be able to, how you imagine supply on that end as well.
Okay, so our booths come in place in that scenario because these booths have fiberglass against them and only one person can enter at a time. So if we put our collection system inside the booths, so people would just throw it outside. And there are various cases, for example, in restaurants where people would like to change their masks. So we can even place collection bins in restaurants where people would want to throw away their masks apart from household collection. And as far as the demand is concerned, I think there is a case where a person, a furniture student in Seoul, Kim Hanul, he made stools out of these waste discarded masks. So he made furniture out of the discarded masks. He was a student in Seoul.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we're done. Thank you, Solana. Solana has been a powerhouse. Thank you. Thank you for your effort.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We lost Michael though.
Maybe he went to get sugar.
He went to get sugar.
He was talking about sugar.
Oh, there he is back again. Probably sugar. Okay, Spencer, whenever you're ready, share your screen.
Yes.
And let me know when to put on the timer.
Okay.
Ready?
You guys can hear you. Okay. Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Sungjin Kwan, and my team plans a vegetarian snack box monthly delivery service named Yummy Veggies. We wanted to solve the one important problem in food market. Since vegan customer have difficulty understanding the ingredient table of the processed food, they don't know whether they take eatable food or not. Furthermore, customers have few choices to buy the vegan product in Korea, so that they purchase the expensive overseas vegan products. In order to solve this problem, we wanted to make it easy to figure out the proper vegan foods. Also, we plan to co-purchasing process so that customer can buy the food with a lower price. Our service is delivering vegan snack bundle box one time per month that composed with the customer preferred contents. Through our service, they easily buy the 12 to 14 kinds customized vegetarian snacks. We already collect the food preference data by operating basic survey. The box is composed with the customized snacks based on the sourcing list and then delivered to the customers. We will do customer satisfaction survey after their first usage of our service, so that we can continue their subscription with the better services. Not only collecting the ingredient data for the vegan foods, but we also collect the other snacks ingredient data, so that we are able to cluster into eight categories that we organized. We already set up prototype by building Google survey form that filtering customer preferences. We targeting the vegan female, especially in the MZ generation, which the group that regard the veganism as one of the culture. During the period times of the female, they are likely to take a sweet snacks, so that we thought that monthly delivery service is great and fit our service. Also, it is easy to manage the supply chain and delivery process, since snack has way more longer expiration date. We already participate the vegan Kakao Talk free chatting room before 3 months. Also, we asked questions to know the period that they want to take the snacks. Vegan markets are increasingly growing today. We start to access the vegetarian foods market by the snack products groups, but we will extend our categorize and sectors based on the customer needs. Our first goal is to collect 100 loyal customers that are cheering and spread our services. My term is organized with one designer and two developers. We built this plan with the insight from the food startup business that we operated last year. Since we have a food supply chain and strategic sourcing experience and fast executive ability, we are the best team to run this business plan. In my opinion, we do have responsibility to protect our planet and animal ecosystems. Veganism is one of the start points of the keeping responsibility. Small changes of eating habits is the key to environmental sustainability for the Earth. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. You are on time.
Thank you. Apologies, everyone. Some issues here, but I'm back. Thank you. Judges?
I think I could be a real, kind of investment analyst for this team, right? Let me ask about one thing. What could be the most important capability to make a success in your business?
Can you go by these questions in Korean?
자, 이 사업이 성공하려면 가장 중요한 능력이 뭐라고 생각하십니까? 회사가 가져야 돼.
네, 빠른 실행력이라고 판단합니다. 이게 뭐
그거보다는 좀 더 구체적으로.
좀 더 구체적으로요? 네, 저는 충성 고객의 확보의 싸움이라고 생각하고 있습니다. 워낙에 매니아틱한 시장이기도 하고 지금 성장하고 있긴 하지만 타겟팅을 어디에 두느냐에 따라서 전략은 완전히 달라지는데요. 저희는 비건 오브 비건, 비건에서도 스낵, 설탕만 먹지 않는 정말 비건을 실천하시는 분들을 빠르게 확보하는 것이 이 브랜드를 구축하고 또 알리는데 적은 리소스로 효율적으로 사업을 해나갈 수 있고,
그걸 잘하기 위해서 우리가 어떤 능력을 갖고 있습니까?
네, 일단 첫 번째로는 제가 작년에 라이브 커머스 사업을 하면서 식품을 판매했던 경험이 있습니다. 그래서 식품 업체에 컨택을 하거나 소싱을 하는 거에 대한 능력이 있고요. 두 번째는 어쨌든 1박 2일 동안 빠르게 이 이미지를 만들어낼 수 있었던 거는 제가 이제 디자인 베이스이기 때문입니다. 그래서 MZ 세대가 또 여성이 타겟팅하기 때문에 비주얼적으로 임팩트가 필요한 부분에서 또 어필을 할 수 있을 것이라 생각을 하고, 마지막으로는 빨리 실행할 수 있습니다.
네. 빨리 실행을 하시면 좋은 아이템이 될 것 같습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
한국말로 해야 되나요? 아니면 영어로 해도 괜찮을까요? 편하게. 저는 콩글리시로 할게요. 그러면 제가 그러니까 유통이나 디스트리뷰션 이런 부분이 굉장히 중요할 것 같은데요. 그럼 다른 그 비슷한 경쟁자에 비해서 뭐랄까요? 차별화될 수 있는 포인트가 무엇인지 궁금합니다. 감사합니다.
여기 멜리사 대표님이 원래 미미박스에 계셨던 걸로 알고 있어서 아마 더 이 비즈니스 모델의 포인트를 더 잘 아실 것 같긴 한데, 제가 생각했을 때는 고객이 구독을 멈추지 않을 만큼 만족스러움을 찾아가는 과정이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 당연히 첫 번째로 센스 있는 제품 소싱 능력이 필요하다고 생각을 하고 있고, 두 번째로는 저희가 설문을 제품을 받기 전, 받고 나서 후에 설문을 받는데 이게 얼마나 정교화돼서 고객에 핏하게 다가갈 수 있냐, 있지 않을까 판단됩니다.
지금 방금도 제품 소싱 능력을 얘기하셨잖아요.
네.
어떻게 잘할 수 있을까요, 우리가 그걸?
그래서 제가 스타트업이 가진 가장 무모하고 또 멋있는 포인트 중에 하나가 시도하는 거라고 생각해서 많은 제품을 실제로 많이 먹어보고 있고요. 그리고 친구들과 얘기를 나눠보고 있고 또 고객들의 반응을 살펴보고 있습니다. 이러한 그냥 정말 백그라운드 없는 노력이 지금 필요하지 않을까 싶습니다.
전문가인 하나님이 얘기해 주시죠. 저 같은 비전문가가 뭘 하겠습니까?
네, 너무 재미있게 봤습니다. 왜냐면 이제 말씀하신 것처럼 저도 미미박스에서 또 한 4년 정도 일을 하다가 지금은 또 이제 비건 화장품 컨슈머 쪽을 하고 있기 때문에 굉장히 흥미롭게 봤고요. 이런 비즈니스 모델들이 어떠한 섹터든 항상 이제 이런 이렇게 큐레이션된 박스를 판매하는 게 많이 나오는데 좀 지속하는 또 서비스가 그렇게 많진 않은 것 같아요. 이제 그 이유가 무엇이라고 생각하시는지 그리고 이제 이 팀은 어떻게 해결할 수 있는지 궁금합니다.
그렇지 않아도 저도 반대로 여쭤보고 싶었는데요. 그 초기 고객을 확보하고 리소스를 줄이는 데는 큐레이션 박스가 유리한 포지션을 취하고 있다고 생각합니다. 하지만 사업이 확정되고 마켓을 점점 넓혀가는 과정에서 이 비즈니스 모델을 유지하는 비즈니스를 많이 보지 못했어요. 그래서
그럼 내가 이렇게 질문할게요. 어떤 산업이 큐레이션이 중요한 비즈니스던가요? 푸드 인더스트리만 얘기해도. 전제 조건이 뭘까요? 왜 큐레이션이 필요하죠?
큐레이션에 대해서 그리고 또 이제 서브스크립션 구독 모델에 대해서 멘토링을 해주셨던 게 구독 모델에 조금 더 집중해서 이 말씀을 드려보자면 소모할 수 있고 계속 사용하는 제품, 예를 들면 질레트에 그 인수됐던 면도기 구독 세트와 같은 게 있거나 아니면 그 사람에게 더 핏하게 다가가는 정말 정교화된 작업이 필요한 작업, 그런 비즈니스가 적합하다고.
아니죠. 본질은 큐레이션이거든요. 서브스크립션도. 그래서 본질은 큐레이션이기 때문에 왜 큐레이션이 필요한 인더스트리냐가 중요한 거예요. 예, 시간
타이머가 죄송합니다, 여러분.
감사합니다.
수고 많이 하시고 다음 팀 보는
저희 팀 좋은 것 같아요. 멋진 결과 기대합니다.
last but not least,
We have another team, right?
the last team.
Oh,
Yes, Big Cooler.
finally.
Big Cooter, sorry.
Rowan, can you share your camera and share your screen as well?
Okay. This one. Share screen. 안 나와요. 안 나와요.
Okay.
화면 있나요?
네, 보여요. But you remember you have to do your presentation in English.
저 한국어로 한.
No.
It's okay.
No, presentation in English, Q&A can be in Korean.
네네. Okay. Let's start. Hi, hello. I am a student from Sungkyunkwan University, combined master PhD student. My name is Papa Huang. Now I'm introduced personal mobility parking guardian service with incentive, PQDR. Okay. Nowadays there are a lot of e-scooters we are using it, especially university students. So also this among students, including me, now I'm also user e-scooter. So now I found the two problems while using e-scooter. So problem one is parking. E-scooter are not parked properly, so rider did not note if they park properly or not. Such cases block the way for some disabled persons or wheelchair users. So government is started to impose heavy penalty from this month. And second problem is I divided two cases for second problem. So case one is popularity. E-scooter is you shown in the chart diagram. You can see e-scooter is less than popular than e-bike other than fan. Also case two is efficiency. Current efficiency of using e-scooter is less than we think, according to paper of Yonsei University. So here you can see people choose first preference on food, and after they use subway, people choose first preference on food, and second choose they use town bus or e-scooter. And then we will talk about solution. For problem one parking, we can create operator-less parking guidance application, and we can create zone-based parking places, and we can provide platforms to add new zones on map. So here we can divide it four zones. So red zone is parking not allowed. So if you park in this area, you can have heavy penalty. And green zone is parking allowed, properly park. So you park in green zone, you can park and you can properly park and you can get inside the price. And yellow zone is when collector collect scooters, if the user they park not properly park, our application, our service will show yellow. And white zone is parking is allowed, properly park, but if you park in white zone, you cannot get inside the price. And this is solution for popularity and efficiency. So we can provide incentive to increase e-scooter popularity, provide popular destination to improve efficiency. And this is for explanation about explanation for rider. So first, user can open Picoda application and take the picture of e-scooter and write to the destination and take the picture back e-scooter. So resist clear certificates, and if they park in the green zone, they will get incentive price and they will use it again. Again, this is explanations for operator. So for operator, they can check the bug zones and check the restricted bug zone, apply for new bug zone and approve new bug zone. And this is for collector. So collector, when collector use our service, they can check the GPS location or e-scooter and collect the e-scooter easily and take the picture as that and resist clearance certificate. And for advisor, so they can check the bug zones and apply for new bug zone, applying to list advertisements or projects, and approve new bug zone and project. They can also advertise for their projects. And this is for local government. Local government can mark the bug zone and restricted zone and check the new zone application and approve new zone. And also they can mark the new zone on map. And this is our renewable models. And here you can see this signal is cash flow bot and this is cash flow one. This is virtual cash one. So Picoda connected all of the advertiser, government, collector, operator, and writer. So we can connect all of this, and then this is sustainability model. So if user, writer, operator, advertiser, government, if they use our Picoda, sustainability improved through reducing carbon footprint using alternative means of transport. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right on time. 5 minutes.
Okay. So,
Thank you for your presentation. It's quite interesting idea.
yes, thank you.
May I ask, do you calculate the kind of expected revenue under your kind of economic model, right? Or your pricing model?
Yes. 죄송한데 한국어로 질문해
네,
주세요.
네.
네.
이게 수익성이 나올지 매출 규모를 계산해 보셨어요? 가정을 전제로?
네네네. 지금 e-스쿠터가 지금 6만 개가 있거든요. 네. 그리고 운영하는 오퍼레이터가 지금 20개 정도가 있습니다. 그래서 저희가 이거를 서비스로 사용하면서 저희 서비스를 사용해주면 그 5%에서 10%까지 사용하는 금액의 5%에서 10%를 저희가 하는 걸로 그렇게 하고 있습니다. 네,
그러니까 제가 질문 드린 거는
네.
이게 우리가 지금 광고를 기반으로 수익을 만들어야 되는 거잖아요. 그죠?
네.
그래서 누군가한테는 돈을 나눠줘야 되고, 그죠? 우리도
네.
원가가 들고 매출이 나고, 그래서 이게 수익성이 나오는지가 궁금한 거예요. 이익이 나올 수 있는 건지. 그러면
당연히, 네.
몇 명 정도의 고객을 확보해야만 이게 수익이 나올 수 있는 건지, 그게 궁금한 거예요.
그게 저희가 수익이 날 수 있는 이유가 저희가 지금 대학생들이 많이 사용하고 있잖아요. 그래서 대교의 홍보하고 그리고 지금 아까 그 발표 내용에 그 그림성이라는 것이 그 아까 그 뭐 스타벅스나 맥도날드 그런 가게들이 많은 파크 그런 데로 저희가 지정하면 거기에 그 광고를 할 필요 없고 거기에 사람들이 쉬어가면서 거기에 사용할 수 있도록 하니까 네. 그래서 수익이 네, 저쪽에서도 들어오고 네. 여기 사용하는 자객에도 들어올 수 있는 것 같습니다.
알겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다. 네.
예, 그 방금 저희 그 말씀해주신 분과 같이 저도 이제 비슷했던 질문이었는데 그 광고 관련해서라면 광고를 딱히 하지 않고 지금 이 스쿠터들이 지금 이제 파킹해야 되는 그 존을 어떤 뭐 CU 편의점이라든지 아니면 스타벅스라든지 그런 곳으로 일부러 지정함으로써 자연스럽게 마케팅이 되게 하겠다라는 게 아이디어인 거죠?
네네네. 맞아요. 네. 그 공항 대부분이 그 공원이나 그런 거 근처에 있는 그 유명한 관광객들이 많이 가는 그 근처에 있는 곳으로 잡으면 네. 다 사용하기에 편한 것 같습니다.
네. 일단은 저는 재밌게 들었고요. 지금 또 이런 파킹 문제, 이스쿠터에 파킹 문제가 있기 때문에 그거를 해결하는 관점에서 해결자로서 한번 해보겠다라고 하는 건 지지하고 있고요. 다만 지금 이제 그 가게 어떤 스토어들의 그러니까 그 프로퍼티가 있잖아요. 그 부동산에 안쪽에다가 넣을 거냐 아니면 바깥쪽이냐인데 그것도 사실은 좀 해결해야 되는 문제일 것 같아요.
네, 맞습니다. 네. 그것도 저희가 다시 생각해 봐야 되는 문제입니다.
네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
네, 저도 발표 너무 재밌게 잘 들었고요. 저도 약간 비슷한 맥락에서 질문이 있는데, 그럼 실제로 이 서비스를 활용을 하고자 하는 그런 고객을 실제로 접근을 하셨는지, 그리고 이제 가정을 하신 뭐 5% 내지는 10%에서의 커미션을 받는 걸로 이제 지금 되어 있는데, 그 산출 근거가 어떻게 되는지 궁금합니다. 왜 5%에서 10%를 가정을 하였고, 네.
네. 저도 현재 스쿠터를 이용하고 있는 자로서 제가 조사는 제 주변 친구들에다 그냥 네, 그냥 물어보고만 했고 네, 시간이 거의 없어 가지고 그리고 아까 5%에서 10%는 그냥 예상 금액이에요. 저희가 정확하게 네, 다시 계산해서 다시 해야 될 것 같습니다.
네, 응원합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다. Thank you so much.
We're done. This is the final
And
presentation. The final presentation.
Yes, congratulations. So much was achieved in the past 48 hours. It's always amazing. So now we're going to obviously a little bit of a break for the judges, first of all, to get a bit of a water, maybe some sugar, Michael. I heard you sing a couple of times. And then we go into deliberation, which also gives the teams time to regroup, also time to do a bit of a break. And we should keep you guys informed here on the live chat. So don't go too far. Yes,
Just for the logistics for the judges, grab the sugar that you need and let's meet afterwards in the lounge on check-in number 1 table, the very first table that you see. Check-in number one. Okay, guys, see you in a few.
Congratulations again.
And
Hello, everyone. Hi, Marina. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. It's always so exciting to think about, the outcomes of this weekend And I'm 100% sure the judges spent a lot of good conversations. They were a little bit in Korean, so I didn't follow up everything. But it's always great to see the energy and the back and forth. So it's never an easy call. I would also like to take this as another opportunity to thank our sponsors. Without them, the organizers, the judges, the mentors, right? This whole infrastructure, this wouldn't be possible. And thanks again for everyone that worked so hard, sleepless hours, sleepless nights, and really, really put their all into those 5 minutes that articulates a new potential future. Just very, very exciting, especially for the theme that we are presenting. So I will now start sharing my slides. Just a second, making sure I get the right one. Okay. Sorry. And now the winning team. Can I get some emojis? Can I get some beats? Can I get some sound? Best teamwork, circle line. Amazing. I do invite the judges and Marta to say a few words about getting to this decision. I think
Now we need to have a little talk about this team.
Yeah, if possible, maybe just
Yeah. We could have a kind of a difficulty to choose the final team, right? Because a lot of team already have a great idea and great passion. We feel like, oh, how could I choose just one team, right? But finally we made a decision. Circle line will be the best team in my idea, and other judges too. They might be the kind of make a real impact in this space, right? That's our belief. Thank you. It's Michael Huang.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, as we mentioned before, teamwork is one of the most important things that helps businesses move forward, right? Sometimes the idea changes, even the focus of the company and the problems we're trying to solve can evolve. A good team that works well together, that's solid foundation for a successful business and project. Okay, next. Brrr. Some noise here. That's creatively. Yome. Oh, that's amazing. I now invite the judges again to say a few words about this decision.
Another judge, please.
All right. So the team Yerme brought very creative idea on developing their business. So they incorporate gamification on planting education, and then we all judges thought that content creativity can expand to various fields. So it's very scalable idea, and it's the way they approached that problem was very creative. So we gave the best creativity awards to the team Yelme. Congratulations!
This is so nice. And yes, the level of creativity was so amazing for Yome and across many of the teams. I do imagine that was a very, very tough call. Sorry. And now our last one. Make some noise. Make some noise. Queen J, first place. That is awesome. Again, I invite the judges.
하나죠?
Yeah, oh, thank you. Well, before anything, all the teams did such a fantastic job. And so it was very difficult for us to pick just one. And so we talked, I think, about every group in the final discussion. I think when we got down to it, because the kind of overall theme was about sustainability, I think those that had a very clear link with sustainability and how it can make a positive impact, I think those were the ones that really resonated with us as well. And I did mention the cure, the tangerine again. But yes, all of the teams really did a fantastic job. And I know it sounds very cliche, but and it was really, really tough choice. But we do want to congratulate Winjay for the Sustainability Award, and also thank all the other teams, the wonderful judges. They have really, they were sitting down the whole time. So, we're a little older and have to take care of our hobby. It's been so much fun to be a part of this wonderful and very meaningful event. Thank you to the organizers. And maybe we could also have Ron to say a few words as well.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations again to Winjay and Yarme and Sokoline. Also, other teams participated here. I was very enjoyed, and I was very amused by your passions on your ideas. Even though we selected very hardly only three teams, the other teams also the ideas are good. So I hope you guys push these ideas to move on and try to. And I mean, even though you guys already started, but we didn't. We couldn't. We couldn't only select. We could only select only three teams. But there is a. If you try more, and then if you come up with the. How can I say? If you add a little bit more on your current stage of your idea, I'm sure you guys can find another way to move on and really quickly to be bright, have a bright future on it. Be a rocket like a Coupang or Pedalinjo or other great companies in Korea. So anyway, I really enjoyed it your this event, and hope you guys move on. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, judges. So now we get obviously towards the end where we have our three winning teams. Again, what an amazing group of and a variety of topics and presentations. A few things as we're wrapping up. As we're saying thank you so many times. It's so important not just to be in this event, but some of the things that we do to keep the community growing, keep the love, and keep making this a special place for always new ideas, new people that, from the students that are exploring their thoughts, all the way to more experienced professionals thinking, oh, maybe I could do something different, or maybe I could do something. Right. I guess the point is we're always trying to make this a very fruitful environment for people that are already here and also new people that are joining. So maybe help organize the next event. We would love to get anyone who's interested involved, and we're gonna help you, coach you. There's so many tools, there's so many things to get you doing exactly what we're doing right here. Obviously, attend more and join the conversation in different formats. COStartups.com provides a variety of different activities for you to know what's going on, and connect with members, events, and bring people that might, right now have no idea that this is happening, and maybe could add something to what they're doing to their lives. Techstars is a beautiful community helping entrepreneurs succeed everywhere. And being in this journey for over 10 years, you will see some beautiful stats. So obviously there's the learning, the connections, the new ideas, but there is 10 to 20% of startups that participate that actually progress quite far in their journey towards becoming an organization, towards getting funded, towards continue to validate and working on their idea. Yes, exactly what I was talking about. So 400,000 participants since 2009, 6,000 events, as we can see, 150 plus countries and over 1,400 cities. So join us. And then thanks again for our sponsors. And I also wanted to add here that the sustainability team, you might hear from us some next steps. The first team, as you're gonna be as you're gonna you will be nominated to attend the Global Startup Weekend happening soon. The team will obviously provide all the details. So watch this space. There's a few interesting very next steps to your journey. And for the other teams, there were the perks in case you haven't used it. It's yours to use. Everyone that is here is reachable. It's open to have a conversation. So if you want to continue to connect, reach out. I'm on LinkedIn, easy to find. And I imagine judges and mentors as well. Marta, big thank you to you, my darling, who is a bundle of joy and your team that was able to put this together. Thank you very much.
I mean, thank you, Marina, for joining us and making this event so amazing and so full of energy. I feel like I need to go to a club. If I could, I would, but not this year. So I hope you're all pumped up. Teams, actually, some of the teams are right behind me. So teams, those of you who the sustainability, best creativity, best teamwork, we will be in touch about the prizes. And in fact, all the participants that diligently participated all through the weekend, we will be getting in touch with you to send you some really cool swag. So stay tuned. There's some really cool stuff from Hannah and from Elixir. There's stuff from Fresh Code, the yummy salads. So please stay tuned for that. As for everyone else, thank you, judges, for sitting on so long. Please go for a walk. Please stretch out. Please have something sweet to eat. And please enjoy this beautiful weekend. We have a beautiful sunny afternoon here on Jeju. Let's enjoy it. Let's live the life. So thank you, everyone, and see you next time. Stay tuned. We'll be making announcements on soulstartup.com and Startup Weekend social media about what's going to happen soon. We hope to hear from you.
I think
and
I'm
it's going to be
Mike. I think I'm
Thanks
going to invite
for
Michael for a
organizing.
dance. Yeah.
Well, you two can go clubbing together.
Yes, since we're in the same city. Let's go, Michael. All right.
Congratulations,
Okay. See you, everyone. Congratulations and have a great weekend and a week ahead.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sunshine too.
everyone.
Bye-bye.